Like I say, basically Rodney ran to the White House, I suppose. Drove there probably right away. Probably Rick Bush too, I don't know. And basically tried to say that I made him president or admiral, basically. Like I said, I did not make him president or admiral, and I was blah 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 blah. I think I said he could pilot. He could go on one of the ships basically as pilot or something like that. Like I said, you have to learn how to run my ships before you can actually be admiral. Like I said, everyone works their way up in my group. No one just goes in as admiral. Like you don't just go, 1 minute you're civilian, okay Bob, you're admiral. That doesn't happen. I can do that with leaders somewhat, with presidents because or leaders of a country because well there's a huge team underneath them. And the huge team is like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to lock up your girlfriend. I'm sorry. Just because. No one says never and says no to me. Anyway, so basically, I believe Rick Bush and Rodney basically ran to the White House right away as soon as they found out I was actually Lucifer Star, or I don't really know exactly what happened. But basically, I think he ran to whoever and said that I had made him president and admiral of the fleet or something like that. I don't really know. Like I said, a bunch of Irish people would probably have a talk with Rodney at some point in time, as he was trying to take over my White House or my government, basically. Like I say, considering that KKK, three Kennedys would also come along in the same amount of time, basically genetically created men, pretty much. Like I said, Nixon or JFK basically cloned himself and then went off to different countries to become senator of those countries. Like I said, I believe there is a country. I could show you on a map which countries basically he was in, pretty much. And basically, those countries or those states didn't really know that basically JFK, that it was the same person in both states. And that's one of the things that the Republicans and the Democrats were doing. They're supposedly blah, 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 but it was actually JFK was actually just being, going and killing or being senator or something of that country, of that state or that place. And then he would basically send an army to go attack the other JFK or something like that. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know what JFK was doing, but basically three or four brothers, three or four exact clones pretty much, basically were getting entrenched in these different towns or cities as basically someone blah blah blah, and what they're actually doing was raising up an army to go attack other states or other places and other basically pretty much mostly just attack each other, have their men attack each other, pretty much. And they were doing that somewhere, I don't know. Anyway, somewhere over in Europe, basically. And then later on, they'd be doing that, I believe, from the White House. There were 30 JFK clones, basically. 30 or so people that looked just like JFK or just like Richard Nixon when he was 20 years old. And like I said, the original Richard Nixon, I have a very good photograph of it that he died. He died in some shootout or something like that, where Richard Nixon was a Secret Service agent and he was very much killed. And then I guess JFK or someone took his place, basically, as Richard Nixon, Secret Service agent. And later on, Richard Nixon would try and become president, whatever, and keep the nuclear football very close to him, basically. So that was what was going on. And like I said, there are three or four different agencies, different groups, including one whole family that was basically guarding the supposed president of America. Like I said, but he wasn't really the president of America, right? Exactly like that. Like I'm not exactly sure. There's so many bad things that happened. Like I say, everything from Abraham Lincoln to JFK to Nixon to Godney or Rodney and Rick Bush. I mean, there were a lot of bad groups in the world, and the fake helpers group, whatever. I don't know what they're helping. Anyway, whatever. Like I said, Rodney was a helpers group, whatever. Piece of shit. Like I said, they showed me a picture of them going to the helpers group meeting or whatever. It's like, I don't know. Maybe the helpers group helped me at some point. I doubt it. I really doubt it. Because, like I said, I had Belfast. I had good Irishmen in Belfast. I had good workers. I had good employees of the White Star Lines company. Like I said, I trusted my employees. I trusted my Belfast workers. Like I could tell you exactly how the yard was laid out almost. They were very good people, and like I said, just people just trying to make a living, trying to do something, you know. So, and I might have started out with just one tugboat or just one little boat. I might have started out with small boats. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know. Like I say, coming into World War One, basically, I was sentenced for all my crimes or all the war because I had built cannon ships and I had done all this stuff and invented all these things. They sentenced me for all for all the things that my weapons had done. Basically, calling me basically the reason why the war happened. Basically, but like I said, I wasn't the reason why the war happened. I had nothing to do with the war. What people do with guns is their choice. They're not my responsibility. I just invented. Like I said, in the end, as Aaron said, it's going to work out better for you this way. So, like I said, I originally wasn't supposed to actually get a death sentence, but Aaron or the other people decided that a death sentence or changing our digital format was better for me. So I did. So, anyway, and also 1.5 million years of community service. Like I said, and it's possible I was put in a coma by Rodney at some point in time. And basically, Rodney or Rick Bush would check on me or someone would check on me every day to make sure that I was still in a coma. But like I said, they probably noticed changes or things happening because, well, I mean, like one of them said, he's still communicating with them. It's like, well, I'm the creator of 12 types of life and whole galaxies. So, even though you call me just Lucifer Star or just Brian or just whatever you want, like I'm not just anything. Like I say, the computer life forms would call me undefinable, but I was defined at some point in time. It's like, well, it's not that complicated. World War One, I was sentenced for war crimes and for all the different weapons that I had invented or had built in my factories and stuff like that. But, So, anyway, and then, like I said, I was lobotomized. I was put in a coma. I spent a couple hundred years in a coma, and I still did stuff. Basically, I was communicating, and then they lobotomized me, and then and the computers were like, well, we can just fix that for you. Don't worry about that. We can just, we'll just be your frontal lobe or simulate your frontal lobe as if you still had it. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So, so they just, digitally did the frontal lobe part of me, pretty much, or something like that. So, or something. They connected me. So, like I say, I'm the creator of 12 races or 12 types of life, 1.5 exoskeletons, nanotechnology, and all kinds of stuff. So, things are a bit different for me. So, it doesn't really matter what you think or what's written down. It's like what is true is what is true. So, I did own Germany. So anyway, things were a bit different for me. So then they just simulated that the frontal lobes are still able to do stuff and blah 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 blah. And then like I said, at some point in time, one of them, either Rick Bush, Rodney, or someone, basically decided to go swish in my brain to make sure that I wasn't communicating anymore. And then I think they might have kept me alive on life support or something, or kept my body alive on life support with my brain squished or something like that. I don't really know. I'm not, like I say, I'm not sure. I just remember somebody saying, well, I don't really know how sticking a spike inside of your head and then going swish, swish, swish until you stop breathing is really a procedure. But that's what they did. So, like I said, one of the Kennedys or one of the people actually knew who I was and where I was, even though I was being listed, I think, as John Doe or something like that. I was finding out all this stuff from my people. They're like, well, this is where it happened to you, this is where you went, blah, blah, blah. This is what is happening to you or had happened to you. So like I said, there's lots of stuff that was going on as Rodney or Godney was trying to, go off without me knowing about it and do things behind my back. So anyway, it was very interesting. So, whatever. Anyway, though, but like I said, I'm the creator of humanity and Lucifer, the leader of White Star Lines Company. And the one who did the Declaration of Independence. So, whatever. I named America. So I named a lot of other things. Probably named every country. Like I said, somebody was like, "Well, we're going to make sure that you name everything or you do everything because we're going to make sure that they can't do this. They can't get away with this." And like I said, America was like, "Well, you're going to have a lot of protection around you. Don't worry about it." You know. Anyway, so America, because like I say, America found out that basically I was the only reason why they existed. Like all the laws in America, America's actual existence because I named America. So I named the country America, the word of America. So, so all the laws, you know, everything that America is, America's very existence depended on me, depends on me. So America wouldn't be here, wouldn't exist without me. So that very much made it basically America's problem, as your whole existence is wrapped around the fact that I came up with your name. In fact, the very existence of what is gold and gold sales is wrapped around me, because I came up with the word. So, you know, although gold would exist without me, but the word gold would not exist. So, anyway, so basically, yeah. I mean, you'd call gold something else. And it's actually called blah, 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 something or other. It has this really long technical name. The Germans had another name for it, though. So, you know, or somebody did. The actual name or whatever. It's because all the different particles. The Germans were a lot more specific with a lot of things. Or some group was a lot more specific with everything. With a lot of things that actually had names for all the different particles that made it up or something, or all the different elements. So anyway, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that the humanity is like, you know, it's like, what the fuck? It's like, well, good luck with that. You know, it's like, well, good luck with that. You know, you're going to have problems, you know. So, anyway, and then there's just a matter of whether or not the people actually knew what I am or what I was or what I did. So, just that.